Hello everybody, my name is The Strange Eli and welcome to another video. You know, after a lot of time and having seen it and just kind of going over reviews and talking about it with friends, and after all this, I think I'm finally ready to tackle a review for Captain America Civil War. Right off the bat, I just want to say that everyone loves this movie. Everyone. Kevin Smith loves this movie. My friends love this movie. Rotten Tomatoes loves this movie. The guys over at Ismahawk love this movie. Literally everyone I've ever listened or talked to or read has said that either that this movie is just phenomenal or that it is literally one of the best comic book movies of all time. And I don't agree. I believe that Captain America Civil War is bad. The first point I want to bring up is that I believe that the movie is boring and that it's really spaced out and that there's a lot of stuff that we don't need to see in that movie. And the whole 2.5 hour or so long runtime, it doesn't feel like there's enough. There should have been way more, but what's in there instead of like stuff that actually drives the story or matters is a lot of small scenes with small amounts of character development that eventually don't add up to anything inside the movie. Namely, the whole cooking scene between Scarlet Witch and the Vision, which is cute but is completely unnecessary. At this point, I want to get into some spoiler stuff, so just from here on out, careful of spoilers because I will be saying them, and I need to say them in order for me to give you a full, honest review. So right up until they introduce Spider-Man, like they bring up Queens on screen, and they have Tony Stark going and meeting Peter Parker and Aunt May. It's, to me, the whole first third of the movie was boring, and I didn't care about what happened. And it wasn't even me sitting in anticipation for Spider-Man because honestly, I was excited, but I like these movies. I love Marvel movies. I loved Captain America Winter Soldier. I didn't love Age of Ultron, but I liked it a lot. And so there's a lot of these Marvel movies that I love, and I have, as a DC fan, I know that a lot of people are like, oh yeah, you don't like it because you're a DC fanboy, and that's entirely untrue. I am a DC fanboy, and I will gladly take that criticism, but I like the Marvel movies. I really like the Marvel movies. Guardians of the Galaxy is one of my favorite comic book movies ever, but I just couldn't find myself enjoying any part of this movie except, a few other scenes, which I'm going to bring up here in a second. But it just, the whole movie just felt, really inflated and really bloated, and it just didn't work for me. And I wanted to like it. I was sitting in the theater thinking, please get good. Please let me enjoy this. And I just couldn't. The next thing I wanted to bring up is that there's no stakes. Everyone is indestructible. When there's soldiers around, they sit there with their guns trained on, Captain America or Winter Soldier or whoever, and they just don't fire their guns. Or in the rare case that they do fire their guns, of course Cap is immediately lightning fast and brings up a shield. Or they, for whatever reason, they only shoot at Captain or Winter Soldier's arm, and it completely takes out any sort of worry that any of these characters are going to be hurt or die or anything, and it just it completely removes me from the movie because I can't care about these things. I can't care about these people if they don't get hurt. And Captain America, he might be, super strong or at least at the peak of physical human strength, but he's not bulletproof. He can get shot. And they can say that his suit is bulletproof or whatever, but it looks like it's just padding. It looks like you'd be able to shoot through that. And and I wish that it had happened. I wish that someone had got shot during this movie. I wish that, I wish that someone had gotten hurt. I wish someone had, got a cut down their face or something. Something that would have at least reminded me that these people are human beings. Because, at least in Batman vs. Superman, when they're fighting Doomsday, Wonder Woman throws out the lasso, right? And, she's pulling on it. And at least she's actually super strong. She can, she has the strength of gods. And she is still struggling to pull down Doomsday. But if this was a Marvel movie, Wonder Woman would have got that whip around him and then pulled him into the fucking ground and snapped his neck. These characters are unbelievably strong, unbelievably indestructible to everything. They never get hurt. There's never any sort of worry that they could get hurt. And so I don't care about these things at all. I don't care about these people whatsoever while watching this movie. I wish someone had died. When Black Panther goes after Winter Soldier in this movie, I was hoping and begging that he was going to kill him. That I was hoping that Black Panther was going to go and just fuck up Winter Soldier, and that doesn't happen. They are somehow perfectly evenly matched, even though in the comics, Black Panther would be able to destroy Winter Soldier, no problem. While I have been talking about all the things I think that are bad, I do want to bring up one good thing. The airport fight scene that's teased in the trailer is phenomenal. It's so exciting to watch. Like, to watch all these heroes use their absolute maximum effort strength and just like destroy one another is amazing to watch. Spider-Man is incredible. Ant-Man is one of, like, seriously, probably one of my favorite characters, if not my favorite character in this whole movie. And some of it has to do with the costume design and like, but like Paul Rudd, even like in the little bit of time that he's in this movie, just absolutely steals the show. It just like, he's amazing, and like his excitement to play this character and to be this character is incredible to watch. Like, and it just like, it makes you excited. And I said spoilers, so I'm going to spoil this one thing. In the trailer, after like the Underoos and like Spider-Man gets the Cap shield, what happens after that is that Ant-Man was on the shield and he crawls up to the top and like grows and punches Spider-Man, and that is my singular favorite moment in the entire movie. Like, it is so perfect, and they like, when you compare the budget of Ant-Man to compare the budget of Civil War, like, you can see why, but like the effects on Ant-Man, like, just like got infinitely better. Like, it's so cool. And like having Giant Man go up and just like grab War Machine out of the air, and like, it's so cool. It's so exciting. And they all, like, this is the one fight scene that I really believe, because like, they are truly using their powers to their absolute maximum, and they are, defending themselves to the absolute maximum, and they're using their intelligence to the absolute maximum. And so like, everything that happens, you get, and then you're like, okay. And like, I was bringing up how everyone's indestructible, but Spider-Man actually gets tired, and he like, or he gets beat up or something, and like, he's like laying on the ground, and he's like, oh, I got this, Mr. Stark. And like, he tries to get up, and he's like, no, I'm not, good night. And like, he pulls down his mask like past his face, but you can still see his neck, and it just like, it's awesome. That one scene is like I wish I could just watch that one scene just on a loop. It was phenomenal, and that was the real like Civil War part of the movie, and it was just awesome. However, that being said, there's a part at the end of the scene where Vision, uses the Mind Stone to like shoot a laser, and of course, for whatever reason, it misses, even though the Vision does not miss, and it just like it goes across War Machine's arc reactor. And so we're talking about like at least a 250-pound man, and muscle mostly, falling several hundred feet, maybe even like 1,000 feet, in a metal suit. And the worst thing that happens to him is that like his legs don't work for like a solid 10 seconds, and then like literally the next scene he has these magic legs. And that's it. Like, there's no consequences to this movie. No one dies. No one gets hurt for longer than 10 seconds. And it doesn't matter. Nothing matters in this movie. And I think that that's going to bring me into my final point. And I know this is like a super comic book nerd nitpicky thing, but I think it's important. I think that this movie, while it is called Civil War, is not the Civil War from the comic. And unfortunately, I think that that's a huge detriment to the movie. In this movie, they have this thing called the Sokovia Accords. Who knows? Accords. And what it's supposed to be is that these superheroes will end up under the watch of the United Nations. However, throughout this movie, in the beginning, up until they introduce the Sokovia Accords, they bring up the idea, they don't go with it, but they bring up the idea and kind of build on that maybe people should be aware of their secret identities, and that they should be accountable for their actions, and that they should be able to, appear in a court of law, and all this sort of stuff for what they have done because of collateral damage and stuff like that. So in the beginning, you're like, oh, okay, cool, so they're doing Civil War. But it changes into this whole UN thing, and so it's like, and I understand that a lot of that has to do with the fact that like their secret identities don't really matter in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but I'd wish that they had still gone with that, because it is such a important thing, and I feel like it's way more compelling and a lot more like cut and dry and clear for the audience. And so like I wish that they had gone with that. As cool as Spider-Man was in this movie, and I was really glad that he was played by Tom Holland, because Tom Holland is actually young, and actually looks like Spider-Man, and I'm glad that he played that character. But there's also a part of me that wishes that he was a little bit older, or that he was more experienced, and that people knew him more, and so that way he had the ability to go to this big press conference and take off his mask and say that he's Peter Parker. And because like that's such an important and crucial scene from the comics, that really changes the whole dynamic of like the story, and that wasn't available in this. And the last thing I would have liked is, and as much as I love Chris Evans as Steve Rogers Captain America, I wanted Captain America to die. I wanted this whole war to come to a climax, and I wanted either Tony or some other person with a gun, just to like kill Captain America like it happens in the comics. Maybe not on the steps of a Capitol building, it doesn't really matter, but I wanted Captain America to die, because I think that if that had happened, Tony Stark would have been like, oh shit, this is like one of my best friends and he's dead now, and it's all because of this war that I had started. And so he would feel guilty, and he would realize that Captain America was right, and then they would stop fighting and become the Avengers again, and that would be that. And it would just be like a much cleaner kind of ending to the story. And I wish that Falcon had became Captain America, because like, first of all, his suit is amazing. The design for the Captain Falcon is just incredible. And I think that at this point we have a lot of Captain America. If we wanted more Captain America, we would just go watch the Captain America movies. But we don't have enough Falcon. But I do think that he is, the actor, which I can't think of the name off the top of my head, is good enough to drive a whole movie by himself. And I wish that he did. I wish that he was able to do, take on the mantle of Captain America and be Captain America with the red wings and stuff like that. And you can even have the actual, Steve Rogers Captain America come back in Infinity War via, some sort of stone or something like that. It's not like you had to keep them out forever, but it would have been cool to at least have him be temporarily dead, and have, it would have been cool to have Falcon take his place, because, it does offer that sort of emotional, oh shit, maybe I'm wrong from Iron Man. And so yeah. Anyways, guys, that's going to be all for this video. I know that's really long, but I just wanted to, give you my opinion, and maybe if you agree, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear what you guys think about Civil War. Tell me if I'm wrong. You could just scream at me in the comments, anything. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If they bring back the rating system, go ahead and give it a 5-star, but we all know that they won't. And that'll be it for this video. Go ahead and like and subscribe, all that sort of stuff. Tell your friends, whatever. And as always, I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.